All right, folks, welcome back. Today we're going to be trying to draw a dinosaur. So I'm going to go ahead and just, I don't know, start with a square for the head of our like T-Rex, Velociraptor, or whatever. I'm just going to make a dinosaur with a lizard head and a bunch of teeth. And I'm going to go ahead and draw the forehead like that. Gonna make the teeth start around here. And I can hear some dogs outside just going bananas. I don't know if you guys can hear them, but these dogs are going crazy. All right. Anyways, start drawing the eye. Give them a nostril. All right. Gonna start defining some of these lips. And I hope those dogs are all right. They sound very angry, almost as angry as our dinosaur here. All right. So, I'm gonna start giving them some teeth. And I'm kind of rounding them off, not making them too pointy like you would expect. Kind of making them look a little natural. So if they're going in different directions, I'm fine with that. I just want to fill his whole jaw up with all these teeth. And kind of like shaped like eggs at this point. And I'm going to draw the jaw down here. Something like that. All right. And I always like the cool thing is with lizards, they have this like corner of their mouth that is not hard skin. It's almost like tender skin, kind of like ligaments or something, the soft tissue. And it just looks so cool. So I'm going to accentuate how he's got that soft tissue right there and define the skin around it just like cracks, kind of like on a crocodile. And I'll actually bring some of these cracks to the eyes, and I'm going to start laying some teeth on the bottom jaw, and kind of similar style. If they're pointy, great. If they're a little rounded, that's fine. I was just thinking I could give him like a second row of teeth like he was a shark. Not sure if I want to do all that though, because these are just quick drawings we're doing, just fun character development, just warm-up drawings. And yeah, he's looking kind of cool. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and define his eyebrow a little bit. You can see how I darkened around the eyes. And we're going to go give him some more details and just using the scribbly lines just to kind of give him more texture on the skin. And you can see I'm kind of going like that. I'm going to do the same thing to the bottom jaw. A little bit of hatching, some cross hatching. Alright. And now, so we got this row of teeth. We're going to have row of teeth on the back side, but I'm going to wait on that because I know I'm going to want to draw a tongue. And I'm going to also want like some in the back of the top jaw too. But you know what? Before I do that, let's work on his nose. Give it more of a shape so he's just not so generic looking as far as shape goes. And it'd be cool just to make that nose have the shape that's just not like a hole. So it almost looks like another eye he has there. And I'm going to add some cracking skin here. A little hatching. Alright. Same thing here. Alright. And alright. And then you can see our dinosaur taking shape. And alright, you can see how I'm just trying to accentuate that eye area, and I might want to go a little darker because I want that eye to kind of stand out. And it's kind of cool that it doesn't have any pupils or anything. He just looks like he's kind of like like possessed. Maybe he's like a robotic or something, and that eye's just glowing. Maybe he's just like a mythical creature, so that's why he doesn't have a pupil. And so the back of the head, I'm going to add these scales that you kind of would expect to see on like a dinosaur or an alligator. You know, just give him those reptilian features. And there's usually have like some kind of ear on some reptile. So we're going to give him the same thing. And I'm just going to leave it without any texture in there because that's also soft tissue. And I'm going to continue this scale pattern. And we're going to keep going. Keep going. Alright. And maybe a couple like moles or whatever, bumps. And then down here, this is actually, so on the top surface, like most lizards, they have the scales. And then the bottom, this is kind of softer exterior tissue that doesn't have like the armor plating features, kind of like a snake. The bottom is also, they have scales on the bottom, but they're still softer than the top, whereas the top has intricate pattern of scales. Alright, and I'm going to darken right here because this is the bottom of our jaw. Scribble a little bit, keep it going, and alright, this is coming out pretty cool. He looks pretty serious. He looks like he's hungry. Alright, so I'm going to keep going. Now, I'm not going to have enough room for the rest of the body, but we got enough room to kind of give our lizard friend here some defining features. It's kind of cool that we have bones just to definitively tell us, hey, there were these huge reptiles on Earth millions of years ago, and I can't even imagine what life would have been like with these guys roaming around, because if you look at lizards in your backyard, they move so fast. It's just like it's just a response. It's not like, you know, you look at mammals, they kind of like thinking. Reptiles just like respond, they react. And I can only imagine like if you're like trying to run from these guys, they're just giving you all that they have, because once they have a task at hand, that is it. And just having something this big, this scary looking, just charging at you has got to be just terrifying. All right. Just a couple scribbles here as the page fades out. Gonna give him the tongue, and we're gonna go. I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go up, and then I'm gonna. And so I went down, long way. Started curling up again, and I'm just going to taper it off because I am running out of room. And let me bring this back into view. And I am going to, so I know snakes, they kind of have this like pocket in their mouth where that tongue comes out of. You can see when snakes are kind of smelling the air, as they say, because I guess they smell the air with their tongue, or they taste the air. Because the olfactory and taste buds or something like that are tied together. But creating this little pocket right here, like the tongue's coming out of there. I'm not forking it, but just kind of just creating like some kind of mechanics of like, oh, the tongue is coming out of here. So then I'm going to cross hatch inside the mouth just to give this some color, and I'm going to cross hatch this guy coming out of there. And that looks kind of weird. I'm not sure if I'm really crazy about that. I kind of wish maybe if I went just a little bit down further, but that's what we got. And so now I'm just going to just make lines like saliva. So maybe I'm kind of just taking back that pocket, omitting that, and just turning it into saliva. And then we're going to make saliva just kind of just like coming out of this guy's mouth. Like that. have some coming from the top jaw, like that. Alright. So this guy's looking really vicious. And I could actually probably darken and make this eyebrow coming down harder in this corner, just to make him look more sinister. Alright. He's looking mean. Alright. So now that I got the tongue established in place, I'm going to go ahead and start doing the back row. And actually what I'm going to do with the back row of teeth over here, I don't want to mimic these teeth because I don't want it to look like a shadow. But I'm actually, instead of drawing each individual one, I'm just going to draw the silhouette. And then I'm going to go in lightly, and I'm just going to color that back row in. See if that just drops it back. Like that. Something like that. That way his mouth has got some dimension. Alright, and then we got the rest of the tongue. So I'm going to throw some like loose lines, and that's going to be kind of like the saliva on it. And some more saliva just coming out of his mouth like that. And he should probably have some coming off this guy right here, maybe trailing off onto the tongue, onto the bottom jaw, and a couple spitballs like that. Alright, and let's give our tongue some hatching, so give it some shading. And I'm avoiding the saliva because I want the saliva kind of just to be like well defined, so I don't want to hatch anywhere where the saliva is. And I might cross hatch underneath here, and that way you have your dinosaur going bananas. And I think that's a good stopping place. If I wanted to, I could add just more saliva coming out. Yeah, I'm happy with this. Let me see what kind of dinosaur you guys can draw. And I don't know. We'll have to draw more of these guys in the future because dinosaurs are always fun to draw. Hope you had fun. See you next time.